Hello, you good people out there. It's me knocking on your door again with love and joy. It's always a pleasure to associate with you. Let's talk about a shepherd before we get to the shepherd. You know, when you talk about a shepherd, not many people admire the work of a shepherd. You know, people with no sense of dignity of labor may look at that and say, to become a shepherd? We all like it when we look like people who really want to go out wearing ties, wearing white clothes, and sitting under fans or in air-conditioned rooms. But pause a moment with me and think of a shepherd. He is that person who protects and cares for vulnerable animals. He is that person who is always seeking to satisfy the needs of those innocent but vulnerable animals. In fact, sometimes the animals are not even innocent, very troublesome, but he's seeking their good. And I know that in times of cold, in times of warmth, the shepherd is doing all he could, sometimes groping in darkness for lost animals. Now, David, who was once a shepherd and became a king that we all admire, wrote a very powerful psalm. And he said, "The Lord is my shepherd." Now, he understood it very clearly. And so he didn't even just stop there. He said, "I shall not want." Because he was ready to be a sheep. He knew, once he said, "The Lord is my shepherd," he was tacitly admitting that, indeed, I am a sheep. Today, I want to ask you, are you ready to be a sheep? Because if you are a sheep and the Lord is your shepherd, then you can join the psalmist David in saying, "The Lord is my shepherd." Now, I want you to understand that that shepherd David is talking about is that shepherd who always is in front and the animals behind him. The animals hear his voice, the animals follow him, and the animals know that the shepherd is always taking them to a very good place. He will take them to greener pastures, he will take them to still waters. The shepherd is so great, so loving, so caring that he protects them. David goes on to say, even if he has to walk through the valley of shadow of death, he will fear no evil. Oh, what faith, what joy, what trust, because he knew that his Lord was always ready to be with him, because he is in front, and wherever he treads, he can also comfortably tread. Now, that's very powerful. It's not just that. When the Lord is your shepherd, it's not just that you're not going to want, it's not just that you fear no evil, but, there's one side that I like. You and I certainly have enemies, but you know what he says? The Lord is not just going to protect you from those enemies, but he's going to allow me to use a street word, a party. He will set a table in the presence of your enemies. When they wish you down, he takes you up. When they want to divide you, you get multiplied. When he wants to get you disgraced, you get projected for a better reason. That is the God who is to be your shepherd. Christ says this. He says, I am the good shepherd. That's found in John chapter 10, verse 11. But before then, he makes us understand that the enemy, that is the devil, comes in and pretends he's a shepherd, but only to steal. Are we going to allow the devil to steal us from the hands of the good shepherd? Or we will stick to the good shepherd and know that even though we may go through problems, even though we may go down, even though we may be despised, we know that we have a shepherd. You know, when David continues, he says, goodness and mercy shall follow him. Allow me to pick it from there. Goodness and mercy shall follow him. When you are with a good shepherd, Jesus Christ, and this time I'm not talking a shepherd, I'm talking the shepherd, you're going to be enjoying, because goodness and mercy shall follow you. As I said, you know, your enemies are always surprised because they would wish you down, but you will be up. They will think that you are nothing, but you will be everything. They will consider you ordinary, but you will be extraordinary. Oh, it's really great to follow the good shepherd. The good shepherd is full of love. He says his sheep know his voice and they follow him. Do you know the voice of Christ? Do you know the voice of God? Or you hear it, or probably you're even in a loud noise of chaos. You know, you don't even hear that soft whisper, that lovely call. You know, the world is full of so much noise, so much trouble, so much that we cannot even measure in terms of anything good, such that we get ourselves engrossed in those until we don't even hear the voice of the shepherd anymore. The shepherd is calling. You know, the songwriter says, softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling. And then he says, come home, come home. You know, Christ wants us to move away from the cold into the fold, where he will make us valuable more than gold. Right? Christ loves you. You must always understand that the good shepherd is seeking your good. There is no other shepherd who can be like him. So this time, this day, I call upon you to quietly assess yourself. Do you know the good shepherd? Are you ready to be a sheep? Or you rather want to be the shepherd and you take God to where you want to take him? Now, obviously, that is not going to work. So I plead with you, look for the good shepherd. He will take charge of all your burdens, all your problems. Your enemies will be put to shame and joy will be yours. May you be blessed in a very special way. God be with you. And always remember, the good shepherd loves you and cares for you. No matter what the devil wants to put along the way, he will carry you through. The mountain may be high, but he may take you around the mountain or above the mountain or even through the mountain. You will see yourself on the other side. Be blessed.